Welcome back to the Dog Bowl Food Truck. I tried making chicken noodle soup today. Turns out soup is actually a lot more complicated than you would think. It's all about that balance and layering of flavor, but did not go to waste. We have some home-style chicken and dumplings for you. So, last episode, this game book has been steadily descending into a let's just call it normal activity, with spooky stuff happening, and I really don't know what to make of what direction things are headed in. Because I know something happens, yeah, but we're only on, I think, Wednesday? Well. Maybe Thursday. I forgot what day we're on. We'll figure it out. I reach out and place a paw on his shoulder and immediately opens his eyes, snorting loudly. He sits up and rubs at his face, snorting again as he breathes deeply. Did you go downstairs? Huh? What happened? It's almost funny how utterly confused he looks. If he's acting, he's doing a damn good job of it. I heard some noises downstairs. I thought it was you. No, I don't think so. Things are moved around, too. He takes in a deep breath before blowing it out. I told you, man. This place is haunted. I wasn't joking. We both look at each other for a moment. Finally, Carl breaks the awkward silence. So how'd it go, aside from the ghosts? It went alright, just 3 hours and a bunch of research. He looks at me blearily. Aw, shit. Seriously? I was gonna come down after a while, I just... fell asleep. Yeah. Anyway, we were supposed to go out today. Really? Yeah, remember you said a few days ago. Carl looks around. Well, what do you want to do? I think. Don't you have an interview tomorrow? Don't remind me. Carl picks up his controller again and I frown. Well, I was thinking we could go out and maybe give you a new look? Carl frowns, clicking away at the controller. Like what? Well, your clothes for one. Do you have any dress clothes? You don't? Seriously? Have you ever had an interview before? Well, yeah, it's just that I've grown out of them. Uh-huh. Well, we'll definitely need you to get some of those clothes. I look at his beard thoughtfully. Maybe we should give you a more clean-cut look? Carl doesn't say anything and instead goes on frowning. I put a paw down on his controller, forcing him to pause. Come on, it could be fun. You can't stay in this house, in this room, forever. He finally does look at me, then his expression... kind of sad. What's wrong? Carl looks away, then stands up slowly, his joints popping. Nothing. If it makes you happy, then why not? Great! Just so you know, I'd rather play some video games with you. It's tempting. Just watching Carl play is a lot of fun, what with his style and commentary, but this is more important. I really want to help him out. Maybe later tonight. Let's get this done first. Again, there's this running theme of people poking and prodding at Carl and not finding a middle ground. But at the same time, Carl is showing to be that he is sedentary. He's a homebody. I don't get it. I'm very conflicted. Because I feel like, if he were to find somebody to become like a homemaker for, he'd be a bad homemaker, but I mean, he'd have an excuse as to why he stays home all day. But at the same time, I just kind of look at it and I'm like, I feel like people aren't giving him a proper choice. They're doing this thing that I was paranoid that people did with me a lot, which was give me two choices, and secretly one of them is the correct choice, and the other one is the wrong choice. And it's up to me to just know which one is the correct choice, which the correct choice is always better for that person. And if I didn't choose the correct choice, they would get moody and passive aggressive and angry with me for a while. Because that's a couple of the relationships that I have had in the past. You know, from boyfriend to, uh, you know, other stuff. But the thing is, it kind of. He's not being given proper choice. Like, I don't know. I feel like there is a middle ground somewhere that neither of them are doing. But at the same time, Carl does have to get up. He does have to grow. And, you know, if Chase thinks he's entertaining, then do what I frickin' did, or and am currently still doing. Make a YouTube channel. You know, become a streamer. I don't have plans to become a streamer. That is a whole extra layer of dedication that I am not going to commit to. But I have been thinking about, like, maybe doing special, like, oh, I hit 100 subscribers, guys, or I hit 100 viewership hours, guys, I'm gonna do a stream. You know, I thought about that. But, you know, that's just, you know, little one-offs, because the streamer life no, not with how my job and my work schedule currently is. But, regardless, so apparently your great-great-great-great-grandfather was accused of sodomy. What? Carl looks up from his phone, his muzzle wrinkling. Yep, with John Begay, who I'm almost positive is related to Jenna, but I'll have to ask her. Are you serious? How did you find that out? He pauses. And maybe don't ask Jenna about that. From what I can tell, your mom's trying to write a book. Carl strokes his beard. Yes, she is. Isn't she? Well, was, more like. I don't think she's worked on it in years. From the looks of it, she started it in college. Damn. Well, I do remember her saying it stressed her out a lot. Or that something happened to make her stop. Carl seems to be thinking. Actually, I think I remember her talking to my dad about how those old things freaked her out or something. He shrugs. But we've always said the house is haunted. Carl's phone starts buzzing. And speaking of Jenna, she's calling me. Carl looks a bit perturbed, but he puts on a cheerful voice and answers it. Yo, whale ears. I mean, Jenna do got them ears that are, that need to get out of the way of the caption. Ah, that old name. As he listens to her response, I see his smile slowly slide off his face. I can hear the sharp, muffled tones of Jenna's voice, even though he's holding the phone on the other side of his face. I guess she cuts him off because he doesn't finish. I glare. Here, let me talk to her. The way Jenna acted yesterday, which isn't like her at all, is giving me a pretty good idea of what she's going off about right now. Carl doesn't give me the phone, though. Instead, is just staring out the windshield as we continue on the highway. Finally, he lowers the phone from his ear, then stares at the screen for a while. She hang up? Yeah, said something about how Leo's depressed now, and how us hanging out by ourselves isn't helping things. I roll my eyes. You know what? Fuck Jenna. She's been on one since Leo's day didn't go the way he wanted it to. For some reason, she just wants to blame you. Yeah. That's another thing, like... I said this a couple episodes ago, but that birthday party wasn't... And the fact that Carl picked up on it, too, is like, that party wasn't for Carl, that party was for Leo. Yeah, that party was for Leo, I'm not gonna lie. And I feel bad because I'm looking at Carl and Leo and I see two different flavors of lonely. And I just, like, I really want to go on and may have speculations and commentary, but the thing is, by now, I'm sure if you've listened, you've realized that I have a very warped social life, I guess. A very shut in, very withdrawn sort of thing where, I mean, I can count the number of, like, sleepovers or times that I've been invited to a friend's house on one hand. So, I don't really have proper frame of reference for this. But, I don't have all the pieces. I don't have nearly any of all the pieces. Although I do find it interesting that Jenna is going out of her way to be, I guess, protective of Leo in a way. I also think it is kind of funny that... I say funny. I also do think it is kind of fucked up that Chase isn't communicating with Leo, like, at all. Because obviously they went through some shit, man. They went through some shit, and it just... Because, look, I've had a bad breakup before, too. I've had such... It was such a bad breakup. There are some days where I can still kind of almost feel its presence in my life. And I've done my best to move on, but some of the things that were said, some of the things that he said to me were just... It's hard to believe that those words can come out of a stranger's mouth, much less somebody who allegedly loved me. But I'm not going to get into that just yet. Carl looks out his window, so I can't really gauge the mood he's in. Listen, let's get something to eat first. I'll buy. No, my parents are rich. I'll pay. I can't exactly argue with that, so I don't. Look, I also know that I'm the one who, very openly says that once you get a 7th digit in your bank account, you become less human. And to vor the rich, but, like, there has been, from what I understand, actual studies done, and turns out there is a comfortable middle where money does in fact buy happiness. If you don't have enough, then, it's more expensive to be poor than it is to be rich. Let's just not mince words. That is the ultimate paradox. It is way more expensive and you have to pay for way more things if you're poor. But if you're mega rich, then all your efforts have to be in keeping that money, in trying to hold on to it, and trying to do what you can to where you don't have less at the end of the day. But then there's that comfortable middle. There's this middle point, and I don't remember the numbers or the year that it was published, but there is a study that I read of where people were rated happiest in the survey at the middle, where they had enough to take care of all their problems and maybe have some leisure, but they weren't mega rich. So, no, and yes, money doesn't buy happiness. Yes and no. It does and it doesn't. And I get the sense that this is kind of what Jenna is on about, where her family has this quiet feud with Carl's family for some reason that will probably become more clear later on. But, yeah. I also don't feel like I can leave it at that, so hesitantly, I reach out with a paw and place it on Carl's shoulder. Seriously, let's have fun today, okay? Forget Jenna. He looks over at me and gives me a sad smile. I'm fine, Chase. I just want to get this over with so we can go back and play some games. I sigh. Is that all you think about these days? Hey, lots of people play games for a living. Name one. Rob Lowe. That's a sport. Still a game. I grin as I hear that jokey playfulness back in his voice. Glad I'm able to take his mind off of Jenna for a moment. Well, at least that keeps him active. Playing games all day will get you unhealthy. Fat. If you didn't notice, I'm already there. You're not that bad, so you're mostly muscle. Then I guess I've got nothing to worry about. But you should get out more. Why? I've got entire worlds in my game. I don't know. What about girls? They're in games too. Yes, we all know about the Skyrim mod that makes Lydia wear Princess Leia's, like, bikini. Well, you can't exactly touch a boob with your actual paws in a game. I don't know. I swear they've got those in anime land. You know what I mean. Already done it. Not that great. You a queer or something? You queer or something? Oh, I didn't know right click just goes backwards. Oh, that's cool. Let's just say I don't label my sexuality. I let that sit for a second. That's a pretty queer thing to say. Guess I'm a pretty queer dude then. Not so. Besides, until I'm able to see my hooves again, I don't think any girls are gonna be after me. Well, that's what we're doing right now. Trying to give you a new look, a fresh start. It'll boost your confidence and your appeal. You'll have girls and boys after you. Again, Carl doesn't act very enthused about that. I tell myself it's only because he has to go out. Once we get there, I'm sure he'll cheer up. Oh, Chase, my poor sweet summer child. Like, oh. Oh. Little vibey cat jam. Oh, Chase, my poor sweet summer child, he likes you and Flynn. He already has someone, but the two people are, well, you and somebody who is in a combative, mocky relationship that also, where he also apparently goes out clubbing all the frickin' time. It's like, he already has somebody that he wants. He's not trying to... And apparently he's already been proven to be enough for them because you both interact with them. I look at this and I'm like... I kind of get it. I kind of get it. And here's the other thing. So long as you are healthy... you can look however you want to look. That's all that should be important, is that you are healthy. Like, take me for example. You see this belly jiggle? I'm not a gainer IRL. I mean, my belly ain't that big IRL. But, a lot of people have commented with, the eyes emoji at my PNG tuber here. Sorry to break the immersion, sorry to break the magic or whatever, but a lot of people are attracted to large men. And I think, the writers were obviously, like, writing that in such a way to show how Carl has a warped sense of reality of, like, what attractiveness is and all that. I don't know. But it just feels very interesting to note that Chase seems utterly oblivious. He just seems oblivious. And just doesn't seem to be making good choices. Also, it's another thing where I get it, because I hate modern standards of beauty and of, like, what is required for job interviews and crap. Like, that shit bugs the hell out of me. Because it's not about who you are as a person, it's about how good you can play pretend and pretty up. And I guess it's got to do with, like, how well you can pretend for that day or for that interview. But still, it's like, it just all feels so fake, so hollow, so empty. And then on top of that, when you say things like that, you don't realize that the person that you're talking to, when you say, hey, let's get you a new look, you don't realize that they wear those clothes because they like those clothes. They wear those things and they do their hair a certain way. Now, Carl, it's hard to tell because everything has to be artistic, but maybe Carl's beard is a bit more scraggly and overgrown and unkempt than the artwork displays. But the point is that people groom themselves to their standards. To then come at them and say, hey, we're going to need you to do A, B, and C about X, Y, and Z, you're telling them that they're not good enough. You're telling them that they're wrong. That what they think isn't right. And that does have a negative impact. Alright? So you need to frame it differently. You need to say, hey, they're gonna look for this, so we need to go ahead and give them what they want so you can get a job. They're gonna look for, somebody that they think is well groomed. So let's go ahead and let's make your beard look like how they want you to look. Because let's face it, most jobs, and this of course is outside the corporate world because I have never worked an office job and I will never work an office job. I cannot imagine a worse hell. Like, I would literally go back to frickin' Cracker Barrel or Olive Garden before I had to go work an office job. Outside the corporate world, your grooming standards are allowed to slip once you get the job. Like, you can explain that to him too. You can be like, yeah, hey, so look, you gotta look a certain way for the interview, and once you get the job, over the course of a few months, you can let it slip. They're not gonna care. Or if they do care, it's just like a once every couple of months thing of like, hey, you're whatever. So, it's fine. It's fine, my dude. Anyway. I swear, every store here in the Peyton Mall is dark and covered in neon. Carl stands there, awkwardly, looking around as if unsure what to do. So what kind of look do you want to go for? The one he already has, Chase. Carl looks at me like I'm crazy. Seriously, dude, I have no idea. You brought me here. Just work with this for the next hour, and I promise we can go to the game store next. Carl makes a big show of sighing, but I assume the twitch in his ears indicates he'd like that a lot. Well, it's just dress clothes, so it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that big a deal. Carl's getting all insecure the way he did during the surprise birthday party. It's kinda cute. Carl? Chase? The voice comes from behind me, and Carl smiles over my shoulder before I turn around. Raven? Is this what people were telling me? Is this what people meant? So, people were quietly, like, eyebrow bobbing, like, if you know, you know, at me about, like, guest characters in Carl's route. Is this what they meant? Oh my god, look at his little blue snoot. A blue snoot gang. Oh my god, yes! I too have a blue sniffer. Hold on. See? Look at my sniffer. It's all blue. The black and white two-toned husky is just a few feet behind me, grinning. How long's it been? Too long, man. What are you doing here? Family moved back after Dad got fired. Now I work here. I could ask the same about you, Chase. Oh, just on spring break right now. You work in a clothes store now? Raven laughs. No, I'm a store down. I work at Game Central. Carl perks up at that. So you're still in school, huh? Well, it's great to see you. Raven's accent is only slightly detectable now, the only noticeably foreign thing about him being his name. So what are you guys doing here? Getting clothes? Yeah, for Carl, actually. He has an interview tomorrow. For some reason, Carl ducks his head at that, and through his ears I could see him blush heavily. Oh, really? It's about time! I mean, I have had a job before. So what kind of look are you going for? When Carl doesn't answer, I speak up. That's what we're trying to figure out. Just now, actually. Oh! Also, I gotta say, I really enjoy the Han Solo look we're going for here with Raven. Huh. Carl shrinks further into himself, his hat seeming to fall further over his eyes. Dude, it's just dress clothes, really. Well, I think you should get a red tie, at least. Might go good with your eyes. It may be a trip. Maybe trim that beard. Since when are you a fashionista? Come on, Carl, let's at least try it out. Carl sighs, rubbing his forehead. Okay, fine. But only as long as we're out of here in the next hour. Hey, I gotta get back to work, but I'll be free in about an hour. Let's catch up. I wave at Raven, and then turn to Carl. Well, that was nice. I didn't think I'd ever see him again. Me neither, actually. I'll have to hang out with him more. I mean, I like Flynn, but having to put up with him just to get a ride to the store isn't always worth it. Well, anyway, if you're wanting to get out of here in an hour, then we should probably get started. The process is a lot less painful than Carl makes it out to be. Soon enough, we're on our way to the food court, Carl carrying a bag way too big for the contents inside. Yeah, what is with that? What is with that? I know it's like a marketing, advertising thing, But, like, clothes stores need to, like, chill with their bag sizes. We meet Raven again, and once we get our food, he suggests we eat outside. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and call this episode for here for now. And I will go ahead and say that this has been interesting for me to continue to look at, continue to see. And I'm really looking forward to where this goes. I would give a shout out, but I feel like I've already done a couple of those this episode. So, I'll have to talk to you guys in the next one. Good night.